There's a documentary that I want to make, and it's entirely a personal project, and it starts right here. So I'm in Kishiwada today, and this is deep Osaka. This is like a good 45 to an hour or so train ride away from the main city of Osaka in Japan. And there's this story that I want to tell of one of the craziest festivals in all of Japan. I have so many questions for it, and I thought, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for a personal project to make a documentary. And it all starts right here today. So as you know, I've been coming to Japan for years now. This is actually my 16th visit to Japan, or rather it's my 16th stamp on my passport. I think a couple of those were layovers. But either way, I've been here a lot, and each time I spend a long time here. And lately, I've been spending a lot of time in Osaka. It's become my favorite place in all of Japan. I love this city so damn much, and this city has been incredibly kind to me over the last few months or so. I feel like it's adopted me. And so I really want to make as much as I can to celebrate Osaka. Man, is this city just incredible. There is so much that happens here. The friendliness of the people, the food, the lifestyle, the weather, like just so much of this place is really special. And whilst I've been here, my Japanese has improved dramatically as well. I think just situationally, I've been able to explore things and just kind of interact with more people because Osaka is just so incredibly friendly. And so I've got a little bit of a strategy on how I plan to approach this documentary because I am doing this completely independent. I've got no sponsors, I've got no connections thus far for anything. And I have quite literally 1 month until the festival starts. So I don't know if this documentary is going to be something that is made this year or if this is going to be a long process, and this could be a year or two in the making. And in which case there's probably going to be a few episodes of how I'm making this. But let me run you through how I'm going to approach this and what my strategy is for today. So the festival I want to make a documentary on is the Kishiwada Danjiri Matsuri, and it looks incredible. So fast-paced, just so intense, so crazy is the only word I can describe it as. And I've got so many questions about it, and I want to try and get involved with some teams who are participating, which means I need to meet some people and find some of the locals who are taking part. Now, Kishiwada itself is kind of a bit of a quiet town within the sort of greater metropolitan area. And so to maximize my chances, I've come on a Friday afternoon, and I'm kind of thinking, and I'm going with the strategy that if people are going to be out and about, it will be drinking in bars and izakayas and all sorts on a Friday night after work. And when people are drinking, they relax a little, they open up. And I already know that my experience in Osaka has been great when I go out drinking with my camera. So I'm hoping I can replicate that here, and hopefully I can bring you along for the ride. Fingers crossed, hold thumbs, or whatever tradition you do for this. Okay, so first of all, I've got to find a bar or a coffee shop. And I think Main Street could be a good place to start. I can hear the ringing of the bells that sounds like the Matsuri. So I think there might be some people practicing, which is perfect. I've just got to follow the bells. It seems to be coming from down here. This is perfect. I think this might actually be a neighborhood team that are practicing and preparing. This is exactly what I want. Okay, this is perfect. It's coming from over there somewhere. Just got to find it and ask if it's for the Danjiri, and this might be, I might have hit jackpot. First connection.
My sister speaking English okay.
ああ、なるほど。あ、今日は練習。はい。
Practice.
うん、そう。Nice. You say 2時間。2時間。2 hours. First day. すごい。Amazing timing. Okay, so this feels like a bit of a destiny in the making. So the timing of reaching and hearing that team who were playing and practicing could not have been better. So as I mentioned earlier, I have 1 month until the actual day of the festival, which is September the 17th. And I actually planned this whole trip around that weekend. So my return flight to the UK is after the festival. Today was the first day of their practice, the first day of their preparations, and I literally caught them at the very start of it. So the timing could not have been better. And man, they were going for it. So I heard the bells and they were going non-stop for a good 15 minutes or so, holding that same rhythm at incredibly loud volumes. My Apple Watch was going off saying it was 102 decibels. That's loud. That's very loud. So that's one thing to note of when I actually do go to the festival. I'm going to take some ear protection because that's pretty loud. Secondly, I was just stood around waiting until there was a break in their practice so that I could go and approach them and ask them. And so I approached them, spoke to them, and they were super down. They were, keen to let me film and just kind of like explore around a little bit. I got their Instagram, I got a message, but they need to talk with their captain and get permission for everything first. There's a lot of people involved, and timing for it could not have been better. I'm so happy for that. Anyway, I've just come to this mall that's at the Bayside. It might even be called the Bayside Mall. And just grabbed a coffee, asked a few people in the coffee shop if they knew anyone taking part, and unfortunately they don't. So now, as it's getting closer to the evening, I'm going to need to get some food at some point and have a drink, and of course try and find some locals. Maybe I can get some impressions from people who go and watch the festival rather than those who actually take part in it. I just want to learn so much about it because it's just so interesting. There's so much. Honestly, I have so many questions about this crazy event. It's so traditionally Japanese, and yet at the same time, Japan being a very safe country with a lot of rules and a lot of regulations on things. I mean, there are traffic cones all over the place saying you can't cross certain barriers, and yet they'll do this manic festival racing through the streets with people on top of these shrines. It's nuts. It's honestly nuts. I can hear another team practicing. Let's try and find them. You can hear the drums in the distance. It's kind of like the story of the Pied Piper, although I'm not the Pied Piper, I'm the rat in this case, following the music. I think it's down here. Maybe I won't need to go to a bar at all, I'll just find them in the streets. There's more. Okay, so it just seems that the whole town is alive with everyone practicing. And I'm really feeling like I chose the perfect day to come here. So this is a great start. So I've been talking with a few people, broken Japanese. English is not very widely spoken, especially in this part of Japan. So slow progress. I guess I'm trying to find a team that I can follow directly and maybe run around with on the day and just getting close as they're racing around. And some intimate shots, I guess. That's what I'm looking for. I think I've seen about 7 or 8 teams this evening, which is way more than, well, I didn't even expect to see a team today. So the connections I've made is definitely better than I expected. I'm not even sure if team is the right word. I mean, they look like a team, but there might be more of a traditional term for it. Anyway, now I am going to go to a bar and see if I can get some other perspectives And this place is kind of calling out to me. I'm just hearing some laughter, there's some good energy coming from it. It's got a hidden little doorway, and it feels like the type of local place that might be exactly what I'm looking for. I've usually got a pretty good gut feeling on these places. So. Also, the team that I was just talking to just over here, this may be a little bit lost in translation, but they were saying that it was the 100th anniversary. Now, I don't know if it's the 100th anniversary of their team specifically, because I think the Danjiri Matsuri has been going for like, I want to say 300 years or so, from a little bit of research I did earlier. But if not, if this year is the 100th year anniversary of the Matsuri in total, then my god, are all the stars just aligning for this. This is exactly what I want. So you are Danjiri
players.
players. Okay.
Wow! You are welcome. これ写真ピクチャー？
あ、ビデオ。
ビデオ。
ビデオ撮れ。
チャンネル登録よろしく。
チャンネル登録言うな。
あ、松デイズ。
松デイズ。
松デイズです。
松デイズチャンネル。
松デイズっていうチャンネルです。Vlog 撮ってるんでよろしく。ALLAM。サマーインジャパンとか、花火祭りとか。
東京、大阪。
乾杯！イエーイ！乾杯！How many countries?
How many country?
30? 30? Maybe? 28?
ナンバーワン、ベストナンバーワン。
ベストナンバーワンカントリー。
あ、日本。もちろん。
受けたいけど、ごめんっていうところとか。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。そりゃ、そりゃ、そりゃ、そりゃ、そりゃ、そりゃ。
そりゃ、
あ、だんじり。
掛け声。
掛け声。
ああ。
ボイス。
そりゃ、そりゃ、
だんじりコール。
そりゃ、そりゃ。
Of course, the people in the bar that I heard from outside, they're a Danjiri team. It just, today's luck could not have gone any more in my favor. Everything just aligned. This is a documentary that's happening. I can feel it. Whether it's going to be this year or not, still questionable. But I think the long-term process is definitely a possibility. And if it does happen this year, then maybe it's a repeated thing next year that just gets bigger and better. Let's find out. Okay, heading back to Osaka now to work on another documentary that I'm planning to make with Mr. Energy himself, Mr. Osaka from Koki. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I've been having some wild stories pretty much every night in Osaka. And one place in particular, I've been having the most amount of fun. And I really want to make a documentary about him, about his bar, about the energy he provides, because I think it would be so much fun. So I'm heading there now. Yeah, bye. Let's go. What's up, dude? Let's go. Arigatou gozaimasu.